Hello and welcome to a virtual Card A Cuppa with me, Fiona Whitten. So this is my second Facebook Live in as many days. Yesterday was a catch-up session, but today I just want to share with you the kit and the cards that went this morning to the in-person event over at the Grange Chocolate Cafe. So I'm just double checking at the moment that this hopefully is going out. But as always, my good old internet and laptop and everything else. Right, yeah, okay. It looks like I am live. It looks like everything's wonky again. But I never know. I set this up and it's sort of... Oh, no, it annoys the heck out of me. But anyway, so this is the kit that went this morning. Well, actually, I should say it went in to people the other week, but this is the kit that was used this morning. It's probably a better way to describe it. So I will quickly go through it as I always do. So, as always, there's an envelope. The contents of which I've now finished taking out. Today's card is based on a piece of basic white. So this is thick basic white, which is half an A4 cut in half and then folded in half at 10.5 centimeters. It's a piece of what to call it, I don't know what I need to call it. It's the Flowers and More paper. So this was or is still a host option. You'll find it in the January to April mini catalogue. For those of you who don't know what host rewards are, if you place a large order of £150 or more, or if you have a workshop where some of your friends purchase items and the total comes to £150 more, then you get these things called Stampin rewards. And you can use those on anything in any of the current catalogues, or even if you fancy it, things on the online exclusive, or even the clearance rack. So it's available basically to use on anything that is online in the online store. So that's that paper. Originally it was a full piece, so it would measure 10 by 14.4, and it's just been cut diagonally so that we can have a piece which, when you layer this piece of Parakeet Party cardstock on, means that you can actually, you've got a background for that blank space. So for those of you who haven't seen it, this is one of the dies from the Around the Bend bundle. So this is the stamp set. It does say on here, so that the actual images are much bigger than this. It says images at 80%. So when you actually open it up, you will see that they are in fact much larger. And the dies that go with it, which is as part of the bundle, there are various ones. So this is the one that has been used to create this piece here. And then there are also, this one has stitching and some little holes, more stitching, scallops, we've got hearts, and then we've got flowers. So you can do all sorts of things with this. And I'm pleased to say that both of these items are actually carrying forward into the new catalogue. But whereas at the moment you can purchase them as a bundle and save 10%, going forward from 2nd of May onwards, they will only be available individually. So you can still purchase both to make your own bundle, but you're not going to be able to save the 10%. So it's if you really fancy this, then I would suggest you get it before the catalogue current catalogue ends, which is on the 1st of May. So that's those bits. We have 3 circles, so we have 2 basic white and a Parakeet Party. So this Parakeet Party and that basic white have actually been punched out. This smaller one was actually die cut. But I seem to want to say that there is actually now a new small punch that will fit that size. It's part of the online exclusives. And then in addition to that, there are all these flowers. So there are 9 in total. You've got 3 each of the 3 different sizes. And that's the punch that I used, and it's part of the my brain's definitely gone today. I'm going to have to get my catalogue out. It's no good. So that's the stamp set. So as I said, you're only going to be able to, so rather than it being $49.50, which is the current bundle price, it would be 24 plus 31, so that's £55. So you do save quite a good amount. So this is the punch that we use. So it's the Petal Park Builder Punch, and that too is going forward. So which is brilliant. And again, the Petal Park bundle, again, that is going forward, but not as a bundle. It will only be individually. This is my January to April catalogue, and as you can see, I've kind of started writing on the bottom saying, you know, it's only going individually, or some of them are just not going across at all, which is a real shame. But hey, new things are great. So we have 9 flowers and all these other bits. So that was, or is, the kit from today. And then the cards that took with me. So this was the first one. So this is, as I always describe it, as my throw everything at it card. So it's pretty straightforward in that the trick will be to glue this triangle of paper to the back of the Parakeet Party die cut. That way you know it'll line up, and it's supposed to have a white border around it, so that's fine. And then these flowers, rather than just sticking them on as they are, very simple, just scrunch them up in your hand. I know people that really do not like scrunching their cardstock. They go completely nuts at me when I say, you've got to scrunch it, or even worse, if you've got to actually rip it. But yeah, these are just simply scrunched up. So it was a large one, and then the next size down, scrunched, and then simply glued together in the middle, rhinestone in the middle of each, and then just glue them directly again onto the card. And then this, so we have shaded spruce ink. So that's the sentiment, and then that's that little, there's a little, where is it? So the hello there is here. As you can know, if I put these directly next to each other, you can see the difference in the sizing. So that's 80% of that. So we've got the hello there, and then this little leaf here is that one. So there's quite a big difference you can see in that one. And you could just leave it as it is, or you could colour it with your blends or with markers. It's really up to you. And then on the inside for this one, the leaves have just been stamped a few times. So that was the first card. Second card was this one. So we flipped it from being a portrait card to a landscape card. Exactly the same principles. You're going to glue this piece of paper behind the die cut and then glue it directly to the card front. And then instead of using the shaded spruce, it's been inked and stamped in the memento tuxedo black. Two little leaves have been stamped on in shaded spruce, and then the smaller flowers have been added. This time they've kind of been scrunched a little bit, but nowhere near as much as that first card. And then the sentiment's been popped up with some dimensionals. And again, this has just got a tiny little leaf on the inside. So that was the second card. And then the third card is pretty much along the same lines, but this time there's a little bit more stamping. So again, glue your die cut to the paper before you glue it to the card front. Stamped some more leaves on the opposite corner to the die cut, and then this time use the Parakeet Party ink to stamp the sentiment on the smaller white circle, and then glued that to the Parakeet Party circle, and again added it to the card front just using the dimensionals. And then again we've just simply used the same stamp as the front to decorate the inside, and that's great because you can actually then use that for your envelopes as well. So those are the three cards that went this morning, and I guess I need to rack my brains now, which could be a bit painful, to decide what I'm going to do with this card. First off, I'm going to get my bone folder and I'm going to give this a good burnish because I really want that to lie as flat as possible. Now the stamps are photopolymer. You can at the moment still get cling mount, which is the red rubber. It's something that Stampin' Up! We're trying in this January to April catalogue. Some stamp sets you had an option to get the red rubber, the cling stamps, or to go for the photopolymer stamps. Going forward, only the photopolymer stamps will be available, just so you know. But it also does mean that if you are going to order them, please make sure that you've got the right item number, because there are 2 different item numbers for the stamp set, and there are another 2 different item numbers for the bundle. So it's important that you do make sure that you have got the right one on for that. Today there is free shipping, which is great. So you can order this and not have to pay the £6.95 shipping cost, which is a fixed amount no matter what you spend. Anybody who lives locally to me know that when I place an order, and I'm actually, well, I do have one going in on the 21st. Didn't know about the free shipping. But hey, so if anybody else wants to order and later, my last order this month is going in on the 21st. So, and if you live local, then you can just ping me an email and I can add it to my order, and then you can just come and collect, so you don't have to pay any shipping. But today, why not take advantage of the free shipping, especially since I have mentioned, I know that prices are going up on the 2nd of May when the new catalogue comes in. The costs for ink and also for cardstock and paper is going up. So you may want to, if you have a favourite colour, then you may want to stock up now before you have the price increases. But hey, it's up to you. If you want help ordering, or if you'd like me to place the order for you, just get in touch. Or failing that, if you just go to Oakville, https oakvillecrafts.stampinup.net. I have to remember that one then. Okay, so as I said, the $64 million question is, what am I going to do now? Normally I would do something like chopping things up, but this doesn't really lend itself to being chopped up. I could, rather than using the circles, use this stamp because it has a curve on it, so I could stamp it here. I could So this one here, you are a blessing. I'm just so happy for you. Now that is straight, but the nice thing about the photopolymer stamps is that even though it is straight, there's enough bend in some of these that you can in fact sort of manipulate it a bit and then curve it so that it's exactly where you want it to be. And I think I'm going to give that a go, which could be interesting. So let's see. First of all, I need to get a block. I thought I had one, but they've all got stamps on it. And I need a longer one anyway. So if I was just simply wanting it to be a straight one, I would simply put it down on my grid paper, leave it for a minute, not for a minute, for a second or two, to let it rest, and then I would pick it up from there. Now, but I don't want to do that. I want to have this curving. So this could be interesting because I want to make sure that it kind of follows the curve, but at the same time is not so out. Let's see how that goes. That's not going to work. Let's try it this way. It doesn't need much of a curve. Let's see now. That's okay. The eye needs to come down a bit. So the nice thing about the photopolymers, you can actually see through and know where that you really want to put that. I'm quite happy with that actually. And then the other thing about photopolymer is it doesn't have the cushioning like the red rubber does. So if you have, this is my Stampin' Pierce mat, if you have something, a couple of magazines will do, catalogue will do, something that has a little bit more give in it rather than a hard table, then that helps with stamping a nice clean image. Now I'm actually going to use the shaded spruce colour. So let's see. Let's just ink that up. And I'm going to put it here, kind of vaguely in the middle. Let's see how that works. Oh, that's worked quite nicely. I'm happy with that. So that's that. So I don't need to worry about putting anything onto these. I could if I wanted to and put some images and things like that. But I think I do sometimes like just having open space. I know some people hate it and like, oh no, I can't do that. But I do like it. But what I will do though, was I am going to make some flowers. So I talked this morning to a couple of the ladies because they were saying how did I actually get the flowers, and I said, well, you can do different things. You can just simply scrunch. You can take your pick tool just to sort of do it in the palm of your hand like that, just to give it some shape. You can use a bone folder. So if you use a bone folder, you want to be just using it like that. The idea is that you are breaking up the fibres that make up the paper. And then do that. So you, or as I did earlier on one of the other cards, I scrunched it. So because the paper's quite hard to start off with, you just want to keep sort of manipulating it in your hand. Scrunch it up, open it out, scrunch it up a different way, and keep going. And then once it starts softening, you can start sort of making it into a little ball in your hand and opening it up again. And then closing it again. It does take a little while. It's something you could do in front of the telly, because you don't really have to pay too much attention to it. But what you will find is that after a time, the edges start fraying and separating. So this, I have not done this on the other cards, so I'm just doing it for this card. So you can see it started to separate. And this, you have to be very careful. If you've got nails, it's great. It does help. You want to be separating them and pulling the front and the back apart. Oops. Like this, very carefully. So you can see, and it has more of a faux suede effect, so it looks kind of furry. Don't know if you can see on this or not. And then you can scrunch it a little bit more, but don't go too mad at this point. And then you want to be gluing those two together. So that you've got a fuller petal. And I think I'm going to put that one there. So if I'm going to glue them together to start off with, it just needs a dot of glue in the middle. And then when you put the flowers together, just want to offset them so that it looks like a fuller flower. Just leave that to dry. Do it with another one, and you can do that. Actually, you know what? I'm going to do it with the size down so that you can see what it will then look like. I'm not going to do all of these because you'll get bored watching me scrunching up cardstock. Let's keep scrunching it. Obviously, if you start with a smaller piece, and I've just dropped it so quickly, let's start again because I don't really want to go ferreting around on the floor. You don't want to hear me huffing and puffing trying to get back up. I can see it. It's on the floor, it's not going to go any further, so it doesn't really matter. But yeah, as I said, the smaller the flower, then it does get a little bit more difficult to scrunch it. Because it's that much harder to try and get it into a ball. Let's see, has that started to go yet? Not quite. But I think you get the gist. I could be, as I said, could be here a while doing this. Let's just give it another minute and then that's it. I'll give up on this. Oh, here we go. It's just started on that particular bit. As I said, you need to just be careful, just prying them apart. Take your time on it. But once it's started, once you started pulling them apart, it does get a bit easier. There we go. And this one I'm going to glue together. Again, I'm going to offset them slightly. And just, so if I just use anything that's really got a rounded tip, you could even use the end of your tombow. That would work just as well. Obviously, it's a bit of a bigger, so I just use my take your pick tool. If you've got a ball tool, that would work. So by the time you've put these together, you have quite a nice fluffy flower. A little bit more interest than just having something that's just plain cardstock. So that's still only two flowers, but once you kind of just start messing around, sort of pulling them down. So then you put that on. So let's start with gluing this. You need to be careful. You can put the glue on here because that will go across from there to there. But obviously you don't want to put it on the corner that's going to be seen. So you can put a little bit there and then a little bit around the curve because that is going to be definitely glued onto the paper. Kind of just have to think ahead a bit. And then you're going to put this on here. So that corner's going to get hidden, that corner's going to get hidden. So you just want to line them. If it's slightly out and you need to trim, then so be it. So that's that. I'm not going to glue these leaves down. I quite like them loose. And then this is just going to get glued to the front of your card. So you want to put a bead of glue all the way around this. And a good squiggle in the middle. And just make sure that you've got your card the right way around. You do not want at this point to be sticking it on upside down, back to front or whatever. It seems to be my favourite trick at the moment. There's that. So I'm going to put the one flower here and then I'm going to put another one there. Now obviously because these have been split, they're quite bulky. So this is not going to go as a standard letter. You are, I'm afraid, going to have to pay extra postage and send it as a large letter. So there's that one. And then I will do the same for the other end. I could put, I don't know if I really want to put some more leaves on it. As I said, I like having, I call it white space, but obviously this is actually Parakeet Party space. But it's open, there's nothing there. I just think it sometimes looks quite elegant, but that's my opinion. As I said, I know some of you will just go, oh, no, can't do that, and just have to put something there, which is fine. At the end of the day, it's your card. You do what you like to do. I'm hoping I'm just giving you ideas and some inspiration to actually have a go. Some of these little things. See if this one's going to start splitting now. Sometimes you have to give it a bit of a help. But this one seems to be determined to carry on as it is, which I don't want it to do. And of course, because I've doubled up on here, so I've got 2 leaves which have been split into 2, so I've got 4 layers here. You could just leave it so that you use just 1/2 of the split flower and then 1/2 of the smaller, so then you only have a layer of 2, because that would work too, and it also means that it's less bulky. Is this going to come or not? Yes, eventually. It's like you will split. So I don't normally talk to myself like this, but I'm kind of talking to you, but there you go. There we go. So that's that one and that one. So you stick them together, slightly offset. Like so. Do one of these, because the other one is on the floor. And it can stay there until after this is finished. So I can't see any comments. So if you have got any questions or anything like that, please feel free to leave a comment, and I promise to get back to you. It's just I don't know what goes on with this sometimes. I just cannot see them. That plus the fact it's on a bit of a lag. You know, you think like a few years ago we wouldn't be doing these Facebook Lives or Zooms or YouTube videos and things like that, and now everything's digital. And people are doing things like this. I haven't got into reels and things. I'm not sure that I'm ready for those. Maybe I'm just a little bit too old-fashioned for that. I don't know. Right, here we go. This one's splitting finally. That's it. Not one in that one. I'm happy to say that my supply of catalogues arrived about an hour ago, which is great news. Stampin' Up send every demo a free catalogue. Those haven't arrived yet, so we're all chomping at the bit to actually see the catalogue in person. We can see a digital copy, but to be honest, I don't know about you, but I prefer to be able to flick through. I know it's a bit old-fashioned, but hey, that's what I prefer anyway. So anyway, so it's now arrived, which means these are the ones that I've paid for. So anybody coming to the catalogue launch on the 13th of May, or go to Card A Cuppa, or have placed an order with me for £50 or more, will be getting one. You can order a copy if you would like one. That's that. Now I want some bling. But so those will be going. Well, I'm not posting them just yet. I'm saving them for those who are coming to the various events, and then what I have left I will be posting out. Now, this is quite a big flower, but I don't think I need a huge rhinestone. I'm just going to use the middling sized rhinestone. Oops, because I know that will finish it. Oh, Tums, what happened there? I think the putty decided it was going to stick to the paper. That's the one thing about the paper, is that because you've split it, it's not that fragile. You know what, I'm just going to use the poke bend. I think that would be easier for this. Or maybe it's my fingers have got glue on the end. So that's my two flowers. Like that. I might put some extra bling on. Let's see, before I did that, I should have stamped my leaves on the inside, but I didn't. I'm going to use the Parakeet Party. Oh, you can see that lots of people were using Parakeet Party this morning. I'll probably be having to ink up soon. Let's try and put that into the corner without hitting my head on the phone. What's that? I think I'm just going to there we go. Oh, and I need to do my envelope. So that's those two. I might put some extra bling on that in a second. Let's put this, oops, make sure I've inked this up properly. Do that and then that. There we go, so that's my envelope. That's my card. I think I might put a little bit of extra bling on, but I don't know. I'll put just one here. One here. Pin them around. Don't necessarily want it to be completely hidden, but at the same time, I don't want it to be completely in your face either. I'm all fingers and thumbs today. Right, that's that. And then that one there. All right, that's it. I'm not going to do any more to that. So that's my card. And I hope you like it. I've also got some flowers and things left, but I don't think I'm going to use those. I'm very much a less is more person. That's just me for you. So that's my card from this afternoon. So I showed you the technique about scrunching your paper and making the flowers so that they're a little bit more, looking a bit more delicate. Let's see if you can actually see this. Trying to get it so that it's in shot. So that's that. And then here are the other cards, the 3 cards that went to the Card A Cuppa this morning. So these are all the cards. So I think I've covered everything. So we've got free P&P today. And also some of the bundles, well, the bundles are not carrying over from current catalogues if items are carrying, so they're just going over as individuals. So if you want the bundle, then now is the time to do it, especially when taking advantage of the no P&P. You can go to oakfieldcrafts.com and click on the shop button at the top, or you can email me at Fiona@oakfieldcrafts.com if you would like me to place the order for you. That's of course if you don't already have a demonstrator. If you do, then obviously it's important that you give them that order. Okay, so that's it. So thank you very much for watching. This will get uploaded to YouTube by the end of the week. Yesterday's actually has already been uploaded. I managed to get that done yesterday. Photos will be going up on the Facebook page. And next week is a stamping and creating day. Oh, and just so you know, I can show you, this is what the new catalogue looks like. So you can see some of the new colours and some of the returning colours. I just suddenly thought, because that one's Berry Burst. So those will be available soon, and in the meantime, hopefully I'll see you next week for stamping and creating. So have a good week and take care. Bye.